I started a video to tell you about my mother. And the main point I wanted to make about my mother was that she was an avid reader. And I gave her several books to read. Actually, I bought books, had them delivered to the house. She would read them and forward them to me. And I gave her some books about Zionism, 3 or 4 books. And my mother read those. And before reading those books, my mother kept telling me when I was trying to explain to her about the big picture, she says, "Oh no, not the Jews. I love the Jews. Don't tell me it's the Jews. I love the Jews. I love the Jews. I don't want it to be the Jews." Well, after reading these books on Zionism, my mother came to the conclusion on her own, it's the Jews. It really is the Jews. I was proud of her for breaking out of the stereotypy thinking that's so limiting. However, she wasn't right. And I really was looking forward to shaping her up a little bit better so she would understand there are good Jews. There are good figs and there are bad figs. I wanted her to understand that, and I wanted her to get to the big picture. She really wasn't ready for that. And I don't know if it was hard to shape my mother and to do it in a timely fashion. She left before we finished her training, so to speak. So, what about you and your training? You must understand by now that it's not the Jews at large, that there is a small group that hides behind them and who are basically atheistic. You need to understand by now that we are dealing with a sociopathic culture. We're dealing with a culture that was so horrible that their neighbors finally gathered together and drove them off and drove them west, where they settled in Poland and in the Baltic states. And then they developed their own Yiddish language, which isn't Hebrew or Aramaic in the slightest. It was their own slang language they used to talk to each other. So my mother didn't quite get it right, and that saddened me because I was hoping to talk with her more. Wasn't ready for her to leave when she did leave. I tried to get her to keep exercising and going to curves, and she just didn't want to go anymore. I was pleading with her, "Bob, this gets you so much further than just that." And so she ended up developing congestive heart failure secondary to diabetes. And of course, diabetes has been engineered into the society. All of this handicap stuff was planned in advance. This didn't just happen. This was done to us on purpose. Everything has been done to us on purpose. So please stop underestimating the enemy. This is an unlimited war, unlimited warfare. It's not strictly spiritual. They're fighting us on all fronts in all ways. All of this stuff that you think of as marvelous technological breakthroughs, wonderful achievements that make life easier, it's all been weaponized before they even let us know about it. This stuff is all being used against us in one way or another. It's just the way it is. The evil ones are seriously evil. So they weaponize everything they can. So excuse me. So I just wanted to get across to you that my mother didn't quite get it all. And I had to title the last video Morning Musings because I bounced from subject to subject so much. So, in the other video, I wanted you to know about the fact that most of the efforts in this country are to imprison us. They're to measure us up, to get all the data on us, to process it, and be able to do predictive policing. So that's what the policing are doing these days. They've got us all mapped out, and they want to set us up. And you have to be careful. They can't be trusted. Because if they know you have a propensity for doing something and you're actually able to avoid yielding to that temptation, they don't care. They want to set you up anyway because they can make a case and put you away. And they're probably after me. I'm not talking to them. There's no sense in talking to them. The FBI is an unconstitutional organization. The Department of Justice, the whole government has exceeded its authority. The Constitution put limitations upon government powers. But we, in our feel-good measures, have voted for all kinds of stuff that's not constitutional. So we're getting what we deserve. And at this point, what we deserve is a good nuking. I'm not kidding. And by the way, the evil ones think that for sure. Let's give the Americans what they have coming to them. Let's give the Americans what they've got coming. So basically, those people bring up a civilization, a nation, use it, sap it, and then they destroy it. So that's where America is. They want to destroy us. They gave us this incredible welfare state to strap us and to decrease the type of person we rear, the type of leader we have, decrease the quality of our men in particular. And you ladies out there think that, oh yeah, they're going to show the men. Well, I got news for you. You're going down, and there's nobody to defend you. Why is that? Because you took the rug out from underneath the men. You did. And you really think that these young men are going to go defending you? Hell, half of them spend time hiding behind your skirts. No, I wasn't one for that. And my mother was upset because I didn't let her dominate. She dominated too much as it stands. Anyway, may Yahweh bless. I'm going to call it for the morning to have me a lunch. See if I can get down to my other chores today.